the magnum opus of the solo leveling series is coming today. Yes, literally today. As the time I'm recording this video, it's currently Saturday, which is also the day they released Solo Leveling Season 2 Episode 12, where we'll be going through an insane roller coaster. At the heart of this episode lies the monumental clash between Sung Jinwoo and the Ant King Beru, a battle of century in solo leveling history. The way it is going to get presented, it's going to be insane. So without further ado, this is a video of what you need to expect or what you need to know before watching the episode 12 of Solo Leveling Season 2. So first of all, why am I calling this the magnum opus of Solo Leveling series? First of all, this might actually going to be the best episode of Solo Leveling ever yet. Yes, even better than the Baran episode, even better than the Kiba episode, even better than the AIRS episode. Again, this is just a speculation, but based on the content and based on the stuff list itself, and also based off some stuff that I've heard, this might actually have the potential to be the next big episode, but not even the next big episode, literally the best episode in Solo Leveling series. And obviously the content itself is just peak. Like, this is one of the best thing that has ever happened in chapter 1 or season 1 of Solo Leveling. Yes, the manhwa itself. So I would say this is literally the peak of Solo Leveling in the early days of it. But what elevates this episode to a magnum opus is the powerhouse team behind its creation. So this is the stuff list of Solo Leveling Season 2 Episode 12. Storyboarder, we have Ryutaro Suzuki and Yoshihiro Kano. Episode director, Ryutaro Suzuki. Chief Animation Director, we got Hirotaka Tokuda. While we have 19 more animation directors that goes by the name Shibito Ryota Saito, Tomomi Igarashi, Noriyaka Nihei, Hiromi Ogata, Yusuke Kawabe, Mizuo Miyata, Kyoka Nakaoka, Norimasa Kanitani, Kenta Hashimoto, Yuzuki Sekine, Takaaki Tanabe, Hirotaka Tokuda, Kaito Hashimoto, Seungwoo No, Hanbyo-jang, Bangumi Animation Studio, Namhai Art Company Limited, and Hikari no Sono Animation. While as for the action animation director, we have obviously Yoshihiro Kano. So before going to the name that we have been familiar with, let's talk about Ryutaro Suzuki. A new name in Solo Leveling indeed, and even I don't know what show he has worked on because I don't think I've watched any of these. Since I was researching about this stuff list that is working on this episode, obviously we all know who Yoshihiro Kano, we know Hirotaka Tokuda, but when I see this name, Ryutaro Suzuki, I was blank because after looking at Anime News Network, I don't think I've watched any of these. We have Card Fight Vanguard, we have Pokemon like as production desk and animation for the opening, we have Pri Chi-chan, we have a girl who chants live at the... I literally have never watched any of these anime. So having to talk about this particular person would be kinda hard until I came across this one particular episode where he storyboarded, because he held the dual position as episode director and also storyboarder for this episode. So I need to see how good their storyboarding actually is, and this is it. A pretty dynamic, a pretty interesting looking fight scene for a Vanguard anime. Unfortunately, I haven't watched at all, but I would say having Ryutaro Suzuki will be a great surprise because again, Ryutaro Suzuki is holding both a dual position as episode director and also storyboarder for this episode. But unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to talk more about this particular person, so let it be a mystery and let it be a surprise and see what part of this episode will this particular person handle as a whole. But wait a minute, we have another storyboarder and also, in fact, hold the position as action animation director for this episode, and you guys know it, Yoshihiro Kano, the GOAT. An insanely talented animator, an insanely talented director is working on this episode as the storyboarder and also action animation director, basically supervising the action scenes, action sequence in this episode. And if I need to guess, this particular person will also be handling the storyboard for like fight scenes, obviously. So again, Yoshihiro Kano never disappoints with how they actually storyboards fight scene in a lot of anime. I would say Yoshihiro Kano is being up there as one of the best action director or action animation director in Solo Leveling, and I would say I love their work. Again, some people are saying that their work in the Jinwoo vs Baran was unwatchable because of the snappy stuff, and here it's a style. Again, it's fine if you do not like it, but calling it bad whatsoever seems kind of far-fetched. Sure, there are some parts where you completely can't even see what's going on, but overall, Kano's storyboard when it comes to action has been insanely great. So I wouldn't say having to mention the Baran versus Jinbu fight as quote-unquote bad and then calling this episode will be bad as well because of that just doesn't make any sense. So again, Kano is a very experienced animator, director, and storyboarder, and in action sequences, we trust Kano. And obviously, we have Hirotaka Tokuda, chief animation director for this particular episode. Not to forget that Hirotaka Tokuda is also the monster designer for this particular series, so it makes sense that he shows up as chief animation director for this episode. And I would say most of the time when Tokuda is in charge of being chief animation director, the consistency of the episode will not be that bad. And considering the fact that he is working on this episode alone as the chief animation director, I don't think the consistency will be a problem at all. But again, Easy Court, there is 19 animation directors listed for this episode. Don't you say having a lot of animation director is bad for an episode? So what does this mean? So since we are coming to the end of the season, it's literally the second last episode of this season. So having this many animation directors listed for this episode is not really a surprise. And not to forget that this episode is also action packed. So they need as many manpower as possible to actually complete this episode. And since the production is catching up, it's not really a surprise. Is it a good thing? It's not that good, but is it surprising to see something like this? Will this affect the animation quality of this episode? No, it will not. I've also heard something related to a new insert song to be used in this particular episode as well. Something that goes around a vibe to use a big girl, some vocals around it, and this particular insert song or OST has also been used, yes, the instrumental version when Jinwoo first entered Kiba's castle, but obviously the rendition of this particular vocal track or the melody is still unclear yet, so I'm very much excited to see how epic this scene will be. Adding fuel to the excitement, Solo Leveling's producer Kanegone literally posted this. Everyone is going crazy about how even the producer even hyping up this particular episode. I'm like, this is one of the most anticipated content that will ever get adapted in Solo Leveling history. So I would say this is very much hypeable. I mean, like, even I myself is hyping this episode up by calling it the potential to be the magnum opus of Solo Leveling series. But again, please do let me know what you guys think about it after you watch it, because this video will be titled something like what you need to know or watch this before Solo Leveling season 2, like whatever the title will be. But please do comment down below what you guys think after you guys have finished watching the episode itself. And yes, those are basically it. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please enjoy the episode and I'll see you guys in the next Solo Leveling video. Goodbye.